Where or how do we define the rules of love, sexuality, and friendship in the 21st century? Having lived a monogamous life since I got married, I was faced with a new reality. My wife has established an emotional connection with another person in the virtual world. Strange new reality. When I found out about this, my first question was, why did she do this? Followed by, what else has she done that I don't know about? One thing is for sure. Her wild deviation from the norm has added new depths to our lives. I'm trying to decide if this new taste of life is sweet or bitter. I find that because of her indiscretions, we talk more. Learning again to love and renew the physical side of our lives with wild abandon. I felt frustrated when I realized that the thought of my lady having virtual sex with some other man turned me on. Humor aside, I discovered that the changes raised 1,000 new questions. Moreover, this is completely new territory for the two of us. The biggest questions became, where does infidelity happen? Is it when the act is physical or when your partner forms an emotional connection? Maybe a virtual affair is not much different from watching erotic films, as innocent as a fantasy born of the words of a piquant romance novel. All these conflicts were driving me crazy. Having walked this path, I will tell you now that her virtual affair blurred the lines of how I defined trust. I'll never forget the first time I realized what she was doing. Looking back after this epiphany, I saw in hindsight all the early clues I had missed. She would leave the room, heading downstairs to the office to smoke, and spend several hours there. She returned visibly flushed. I'm sure I was deeply distracted. It took a sledgehammer to put me on this trail. This sledgehammer led us into the most intense sexual encounters of our lives. It started after one of her smoking sessions. She returned to our bedroom and found me at my laptop. The blush on her cheeks and her gaze were something I hadn't seen in years. She removed the computer from my lap and climbed onto the bed. Before I knew it, she was already on top of me. Never in all the time we were together had she been so aggressive. Of course, as any man would do, I didn't question my luck and answered. She was passionate. Her hands tore my clothes, her lips pressed into mine. No warm-up, no seduction. It was clear that she wanted this without any foreplay. Her pressure excited me almost instantly. My hands filled her breasts themselves and then reached for her shirt. I don't remember undoing the buttons. She was wearing the sexiest little bra I had never seen before. It was a flattering shade of red, lacy, soft, sheer. As much as she needed me, I needed her too. One hand left her chest, turned around and went down. There were no seductive caresses, only a mad rush. The second my fingers touched her, understanding dawned on me. At that moment, all the evidence came together, and her indiscretion became obvious. In a fit of passion, I decided to deal with this issue later. Right now, I was going to have hot and passionate sex with her. I took her like I had never taken her before. Rude, demanding, and with a desire to punish her. Gone are the sluggish contractions and boring automatic responses. In their place was wild, raw, evil rage. Not caring about her, I tore off her shorts. She was wearing panties that matched her bra. Why did she dress so sexy? And who else could see all this before me? I was sure that she had sex on a smoke break. Maybe she was on camera. The thought of her showing another man her body turned my soul upside down. I remember thinking how good she looked in those panties before I pushed her back onto the bed. My rude behavior shocked her. I looked at my wife, thinking about what she did. Mad, passionate, contradictory storms of chaos swept through me. I wanted her more than I ever had in years, and at the same time I was very angry with her. The sexual need won, and despite or because of the mental infidelity, I took it hard. Our eyes met and my hands went to her hips, pulling them towards the edge of the bed. She was mine. I have no idea, and don't care if it has reached its climax. I got to mine and found that I really liked this development. In less than 2 hours, our lives, marriage, and love changed. I collapsed next to her. She seemed as exhausted as I did. We both lay there, panting and slouched as our energy levels evened out. When she finally moved, her eyes met mine. I lay there wondering if I should talk to her about her affair. but I just had the most amazing sex we've had in years. I wanted this. So I remained silent, hoping that this situation might would repeat itself. And it happened. It seemed so perverted. I allowed her arousal over another man to participate in our sexual battles. The angst of wondering if she was thinking about him when we had sex only made me want to do it even more. I did these things to her and made her do things that seemed too kinky before. This gave me a wave of satisfaction. I no longer cared about our old, stupid prohibitions. I loved all of our newfound kinks, but I still wanted more. Where before sex had been casual and infrequent, it was now a daily occurrence, sometimes more than once a day. Well, at least I experienced this renewed interest in sex. This went on for more than 3 weeks. Guilt then began to take over Carol's mind, and one night she tried to break off her affair with her online lover. This asshole threatened to tell me about their chat if she tried to stop it. Racked with guilt and panic over what I might learn from him, she returned to the bedroom after her last conversation with him. With tears in her eyes, fragile and trembling, she told me everything. I listened, and then stunned her. When I told her that I had understood everything a long time ago, she froze with her mouth open. Subscribe to our channel so that your second chaff doesn't cheat on you, and go ahead and listen to the next story, because this story is nothing compared to the next one. If you're under 18, don't even think about listening to the next one.